This is the plaintiff, Alan Suber. He says the defendant is neighbor of 9 years, who he's had nothing but problems with, trespassed onto his property after he trimmed some bushes and called him a very, very offensive word. She even admitted to calling him those names to the cops, and he got an order of protection against her. Bottom line, the woman's a racist hillbilly, and that's why he's suing for $3,000 for harassment. This is the defendant, Victoria Benedetto. She says she drove home one day to find the plaintiff hacking up her tree. The plaintiff's the harasser. He's been pushing her button for years, even caused her pet pig to die because of the toxic chemicals he puts on his shrubs. Oh, him hardy, har, har. She's accused of damaging a neighbor's bush.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigant Temlin, sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome,
okay, Mr. Suber, you were suing your neighbor, Ms. Benedetto, for $3,000, a statutory maximum in your state of New Jersey, for harassment. Tell me what's going on.
Yes, Your Honor. The harassment has been going on for a number of years, 5, 6 years. It culminates on August 30th of 2013, where I was finishing up cutting my grass, trimming along the property line.
You live actually next door to her?
Directly.
Is there a fence in between you two?
Yes, up until my driveway.
Okay.
At the driveway, there's no fence. I had to place a temporary fence because of the ridiculous encroachment coming from her property. I have photographs to show you that are absolutely unbelievable.
Is that everything?
Yes, sir.
Is this a picture of your house?
That's my home.
Okay. When you say the ridiculous encroachment, you're referring to what?
The next picture.
Okay.
That's her home.
Okay.
And the next picture.
Okay. So what kind of plant is this?
Butterfly bush.
Butterfly bush. This is the ridiculous encroachment you're talking about?
That's just some of it, yes.
The pictures you're showing me, you know, there's a lot of debris in the yard, a lot of pots. I don't know whether your city permits it or not. If they do, they do. Is this a picture of the back? This is a picture of the front yard.
It's the front. The defendant cuts her lawn and leaves it on my driveway many times. I've had to call the police for that. Blatant disrespect.
Does she cut her own lawn or does she?
She cuts her own lawn with no catch bag.
What's this?
That's from her
cuttings that she puts over on your side?
Yes.
What's her problem with you?
I have absolutely no idea.
Well, I mean, I read your complaint. What is this?
I would ask you to ask the
what
defendant.
Is this?
It's a mosaic chair that my girlfriend gave me and my daughter's monkey that she won at Kingsburg.
It's placed, Your Honor, in an area of her side bush so that only myself and my family can see. No one can see that. It's a monkey, all right? I find it offensive as an African American.
Right, but you don't find it offensive just because it's a monkey. You find it offensive because an argument you had with her where she made some racist comments.
Absolutely.
Tell me about that.
Yes. On the day in question, August 30th, when I was trimming the tree line, she comes out of the bushes out of nowhere yelling, "You sneaky N-word, you sneaky N-word, N-word, N-word," repetitively. Yes.
She actually used the N-word.
Yes, she did.
And what did she say?
Immediately, I dropped the tool that I was using, and I was fumbling for my phone to record her.
What was she saying to you besides calling you the N-word?
That I was cutting her bushes without her permission. And immediately, I called the police, Your Honor, to have them come and see exactly what was done. There was no infringement on her property.
You were cutting the parts of her bushes that were growing into your yard, which you didn't want.
Exactly.
If all you were doing was cutting this back, what was the big deal of the argument with her? Was she accusing you of cutting more than you should, or?
She was not there. She came suddenly. She drove up with her daughter and another gentleman that jumped out of a pickup truck. In front of her daughter, she's yelling the N-word at me repeatedly. Her daughter starts crying hysterically. I'm embarrassed. The neighbors across the street are hearing this on either side. I call the police. That's all I know how to do. I've called the police on her at least a dozen times. I've had a restraining order on her. January of last year, she had someone, a guest of hers, come banging on my door at 7 p.m. in the early evening, stating that I had killed her animals. He was clearly intoxicated.
What animals did he accuse you of killing?
I have no idea. She
pig?
has many. She has many animals.
A pig?
Yes, she had a 300-pound pig going in and out of her house. That's a fact.
Have you ever called the town?
I've called the mayor's office.
I guess you're allowed to have a 300-pound pig.
It's a code violation. I call the mayor's office. I call code enforcement. I call everyone that I can call, even my elected officials.
What is this?
Can't believe. Ask the defendant.
What is it?
It's a little bronze statue.
It's faced, Your Honor, in a place where only I and my family can see.
What's going on?
I have dozens of those. They're every place in my yard if you just look around.
Tell me what's going on.
Okay, I don't know. Mr. Suber moved in probably 10 years ago or so, I want to say. I have pictures of what my yard looked like 2008, and I have pictures of what my yard looks like now.
Because according to you, he is what?
He's soaking his cobblestone with poison so that no grass grows there. This is my tree that he hacked in the backyard.
Wait, he can soak his cobblestone with whatever he wants so that no grass grows there.
Oh, that's
What's
fine,
the problem
but everything
for you?
on my side is a foot into mine is brown. Everything is brown, is charcoal, is burned to the ground.
If I may, Your Honor.
No, just a second. It's her turn. Okay, so go on.
The butterfly bush in question. This is what I got from the butterfly bush. This was 2011. Well, apparently he's doing something. I have two other butterfly bushes on the other side of the house, and they're fine.
Oh my goodness, what is that? What did you bring that up here to me for? I thought it was dead bushes. It's dead butterflies. Get that out of here, will you?
I know, but that's sad. They don't come to my house to die.
Okay, all right, go. Whose side are you on? Are you kidding me?
They do a migration. There's none on any other of the plants. This is just under the ones on his side of the yard. And the butterfly bush is all the way up against my house.
Tell me about the day that argument happened in August.
I was with my daughter and Robert, and we came home, I guess unsuspectingly, and we pulled up, and there he is in my yard, cutters in hands. He never does.
In your yard?
Yes.
Or cutting your bushes from his yard?
He can't possibly cut it from his yard where he cuts into mine. You don't have to do that. Most of them are on strings. I can pull them back and just tie them tighter, and they won't be hanging over into his airspace.
But they are hanging into his airspace because I saw a picture.
Yes, I
So
understand.
you come to the house and you do what?
He's in my bushes with his cutter in hands. I finally caught him. He never does it when I'm home. He always does it while I'm away. And I jumped out of the car. What are you doing, Alan? What are you doing? And then the words started to fly. And
What words started to fly?
oh, I told him that he's sneaky. And he replied
You did?
with,
No, wait, I didn't hear you. What did you say?
I told him he's sneaky, and I caught him now.
No, that's not what you said a second ago. What did you say?
Sneaky. That's what I said.
Really?
Well, he was caught. This is the first time he's been caught in 3 or 4 years.
Oh, I'm not quibbling with the word sneaky if that's how you feel about it. I'm kind of quibbling with the N word that you not only use in front of your daughter, but you bring your daughter to this courtroom so we can hear about it again.
I've never been disrespectful to him. And
I'm sorry, did you just testify that you called him the N word and you're saying I've never been disrespectful to him?
I've never, on any of the other altercations, called him anything.
Do you think this was disrespectful?
Yes, I absolutely do. And I went outside and I apologized to him the next day, and he told me that it's a legal matter now and to get a good lawyer because he's taken my house. I knew what I did was wrong. It was off color, and I apologized to him.
Off color. It's amazing to me because not only are you this racist.
No, I am
but
not
you,
racist.
Oh, no, you are racist.
No, I'm not.
Oh, no, let me just explain something to you. If the word comes out of your mouth in an insulting, hurling form, as opposed to that you're singing a few bars of Jay-Z's songs, you are a racist.
No.
Okay? And when you say, you sneaky N-word, you are a racist. It is a moment in time.
Right,
you may be embarrassed about using it, but you're not that embarrassed.
No, I wasn't.
Because you're sitting here testifying about it and you have the hubris to bring your child, which I'm sorry, honey.
My daughter's been privy to most of it.
She's
'cause we
wiping the
live
tears
together.
from her face. You know what? Maybe you ought to be a better mother and shelter a 9-year-old from this kind of stuff. Okay? He has a right to cut the bushes that overgrow into his
I
home,
understand
whether you
that.
like it or not. His airspace goes up and down, and he has a right to cut anything he wants that's up and down encroaching.
I understand that.
According to you, you saw him actually on your property cutting
By
it. Were
my
you on her
daughter's
property?
rule.
Never.
He is your witness?
Yes.
Come on up. I'm not
Yes.
calling that 9-year-old to
No, that's
testify.
fine.
What did you see when you drove up that day?
On the day in question, Your Honor, we pulled up. I said to Vicky, I said, I seen the lawnmower in front of her yard, and as we pulled up a little closer, Alan was on her yard cutting the bushes back. She got up, she goes, Alan, we talked about this before, and you're not supposed to be cutting me back. And then you sneaky end came out, and then he says, I'm an end. I'll show you an end. At that time, I put my baby in the truck. I says, we're out of here.
Okay, just stop a second. Sweetheart, do you want to stay or do you want to go in the back?
I'll stay.
You'll stay? Okay. Sometimes adults behave badly, okay? Even though we love them, sometimes adults behave badly. Everything's going to be all right, okay? I'm not going to call you to testify. You're not going to have to say anything. Everything's going to be okay. It's the last time I'm going to talk to you. You're adorable. Okay. So you are testifying that he was on her side of the property, her
Yes.
side of the bushes?
Yes. Previous to this, he cut all the trees down in the backyard because he was...
I saw pictures of him cutting cutting branches off the trees, but are those on the line up?
Yes, they were on his
Yeah,
property.
he has a right to do that. It may make you angry, but that's the law. That's an encroachment onto their property, and they can do that. They can't make you do that. They've got to pay for it to do it, but they can do it, okay? Now, have either of you ever called the city to try to get the city involved in this dispute?
I have.
Has the city ever issued a citation?
Yes.
For what?
Code department for debris in my driveway.
Yeah.
It's all flower pots, it's all flowers. They only grow for 2 months a year. It doesn't look like that all the time.
Excuse me, Judge.
Yep.
She has furniture in her driveway that's been there for months. It's a code violation. There's multiple code violations. It's ongoing. It's an eyesore.
According to you, she has this little statue, this little chair.
And she has in her window, the child's window, the finger flipping me the bird. Every time.
Wait, she has what?
There's a picture she had in her window. I had to have code enforcement have her remove it. It was
Did
the
you have
finger.
a picture of a finger in your child's window?
No, it was not in my daughter's window.
It's there.
Whose window was it in?
It was my upstairs, my sewing room, after he killed my pig.
What happened with the pig?
He's only 3 years old. I don't know. They lived to 15. My friend had got it for my daughter for a Christmas present.
But what evidence
The
do you
pig
have?
was fine. He's done it to my cats. I had cats. Here's a cat just got home from the vet. It's still got the stitches in it, and it got a clean bill of health, but it's dead on the side of the house. His side, only his side, all this stuff happens on.
You feel he killed your cat because your cat was found dead after surgery and had stitches.
Yeah, no, but she had gotten a clean bill of health because she had had babies. I had some in
Do you
the
have
house.
any evidence that the cat died of poisoning?
No, I never did the necropsy
Okay, do you have any
thing.
evidence that the pig died of poisoning?
No, but it was December 1st that the pig died, and it was cold out, and it was dark, and he came outside and leaned his chair up against the fence and sat there in the dark and the cold for 4 hours. So I think must have been of some importance to him. I don't know why.
How could anybody want to live this way? You know, your house is your castle. It's a place where you seek refuge from the
Everything,
difficult
right.
world
Your
that
safe
we
spot,
live in.
Your Honor.
Yeah.
He's never been a particular fan of mine. We were friendly in the beginning, the first
Can't
couple of
imagine
years.
why.
Well, you know what? We were friendly in the beginning, somewhat. Like I said, he's never been a fan of mine.
Do you have a picture of a finger in your sewing room facing him, and why?
No, I do not.
You just said it was in your sewing room.
It was up in my sewing room for a minute after he killed the pig. The code enforcement guy asked me, could I please take it down? I said, yeah, for you, I'll take it down. He never said nothing to me, take it down, it's anything. He doesn't say anything
Why did you
to
put
me.
it up?
Because my pig was dead in the yard.
And you suspected it was him. Do you have any evidence that he killed your animals?
Excuse me?
Do you have any evidence that he
I
killed
don't.
your
I've never done the necropsy thing because I'm traumatized when my animals are dead. It's a big event.
Do you have a picture of your yard where we can see the one side is doing perfectly well and the other side is a problem?
No, I do not have that.
Who lives in that house besides you? Your daughter and who
Just
else?
me and my
Just
daughter.
you
I'm
and your
raising my daughter
Who lives in
alone.
your house besides you?
My wife and son. He's also 7 years old.
Do they play?
They did early on, but it's gotten very, very nasty, Your Honor, very nasty. Simultaneously, there is a criminal case on this harassment, and we will be hearing that on Thursday.
Who's charged criminally?
She has been charged with harassment,
What did you get? Do you have the paperwork from what you got?
Yes, I do.
Let me see.
and that'll be heard in 2 days.
I have the complaint and summons.
Okay, I don't know. Let you look through it, yeah.
Court is in recess.
All rise.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So the question, if somebody says,
uses the N-word in the heat of the moment and they say, oh, I didn't really mean it. Does that make them a racist?
It depends on how it's interpreted by the person, I feel.
Okay, this is going to get wishy-washy. I'm moving on.
I think it's definitely racist. I mean, it's obviously a derogatory term now, and I mean, that shouldn't even come to mind when you're speaking to someone like that.
Does rap make this more excusable that it's used in rap? How about that?
No, absolutely not. For sure.
Racist. No, not you. I mean, it's going inside the courtroom.
Tell me about this. When did this pop up?
What happened was the defendant mows her grass without a catch bag and leaves it strewn all over my driveway. I call the police after asking her to clean it up politely.
So you felt that this had popped up in retaliation for you calling the police?
Absolutely.
About
Absolutely.
The finger in the window, that popped up after what?
A similar incident. And, Your Honor, it was there for months before I had code enforcement remove that. It was embarrassing and humiliating.
When did this pop up?
That was there for a couple of years. Same instance, debris strewn all over my driveway.
Let me tell you what bothers me. I've got her saying, well, he's deliberately throwing chemicals. Look at how nothing grows now on that side. Why is nothing growing on that side?
I don't profess to be innocent here.
That's right. And that's what is really upsetting me.
I need you to understand. I spent over $25,000 for the pavers that I installed. I intend to keep that property line free of growth. It will destroy the pavers.
Is it all dead on that side?
Along the driveway.
Yes.
It's possible. I'm only spraying on my pavers.
Okay. So here's what we have, folks. You can't get criminally charged with harassment for having one argument one day where you lose it and say horrible, vile things. It makes you a racist, but it doesn't make you a criminal. The criminal charge is for a systematic course of conduct. Exactly. That's why you got criminally charged. Do you understand that you cannot embark in this systematic course of conduct to torment your neighbors? You can't do that and get away with it. There's going to be a problem. And I don't think you're innocent. I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing something. And when he says to me the phrase, I don't profess to be innocent, I think he knows he's doing something.
You know what, the code guy told me to go and sign a complaint for him cutting. A couple of people said to go and sign a complaint. You know what? It's my neighbor. I have to live next to him. I didn't think I should do that.
That is such a load of malarkey, because you're the same woman who A, calls him the N-word, and B, puts a finger in a window to him, and C, lines up things. So it's not because you love that neighbor. That's not true. Come on. Lined up. You didn't do it because you're not going to win that. All right, folks, I'm ruling in favor of the plaintiff in this case in the amount of $1,000. I am trying very hard to send you a message. You need to live in peace, and that involves staying to yourself, and that includes you too. She has a right to grow whatever the heck she wants on her property. You have two different styles of living. You have a very manicured, beautiful home. It bothers you that there's 100 pots in front of her house. You've called her a hillbilly I don't know how many times in your complaint. It's certainly not the N-word, but I know what you're saying when you say it. You need to live in peace and harmony on your side and get over the idea that you can landscape her house, because you can't, okay? And then maybe we can have some peace in this neighborhood. Good luck, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, so let's talk to the defendant coming out into the hallway here. Step in here. What's going through your mind as you leave the courtroom?
I would just like him to live next door at his house. Mm-hmm. Let me live at mine.
Mm-hmm. Do you regret that confrontation? What came out of your mouth there?
I apologized to him the next day. Absolutely, I do.
Okay. I mean, because some people would say, how could you even let a word like that out or that kind of stuff, and then in the next sentence claim you're not a racist, which you say you're not?
Well,
right?
I live next to him. You know what? I think if every neighbor helped their neighbor, there wouldn't be no neighbors without help.
Okay, so you're willing to reach out to try to coexist peacefully?
I've tried to, yes.
If you can?
If I can.
All right, right down around the corner, okay. All right, sir, so step on in here. What's your reaction to this?
I believe that it was a very fair ruling. Judge Millian heard all the facts, and she made a very fair ruling. Mm-hmm. I agree.
Is there a chance for peaceful coexistence here, you think?
There always has. I'm a God-loving, God-fearing man, and I have reached out to her time and time again, and I would just hope that she would be more respectful, and that's really what this is all about, respect.
Okay, over to Harvey.
Well, you know, the fact is that the fact that the defendant used the N-word doesn't turn the case at all. It does make the defendant a little more hateable, but it doesn't really affect the case.